You're listening to DraftKings Network.
This is the Dan Batard Show with the Stugotz podcast.
You have heard me lament on this show something that I feels un-American, which is there are many places all over the place where I cannot use my hard-earned American cash. It will not be taken by places that will accept it in a tip jar, but won't accept it because they're card-only on transactions. I want to ask a follow-up question to the group because I don't know how you handle this. What is your relationship at this point in your life, given all of the inflation going on in the world, with coins? If many of you are not dealing with cash in general, because anytime I ask any of you if you have cash, the answer is always no. What are you doing with coins when they come into your life?
I'm keeping them because, Dan, I am telling you right now, if you hold on to the right coins for long enough, eventually those coins will become very, very valuable. It's like the $2 bill.
So where do you put them? Where do you keep your coins?
The $2 bill also is valued at $2.
No, there are certain $2 bills. If you check the serial number, I'm telling you, it could be worth up to like $5,000.
Okay, not true of coins, though, and weird that you would be looking to parlay coins into the lottery.
No,
that's not the answer I was expecting.
There's a Trump coin that's it's gonna be a pretty penny in one day.
Mm-hmm.
I hate everything about coins. I always have. I hate the smell of them. I hate the noise it makes in your pocket when you have change in your pocket. I hate everything about it. I think, and if Stugotz wants coins to be worth something, I got a way we could do it. Let's get rid of coins.
Guys, coins are worth something.
No, I'm saying.
They literally are all worth something.
I'm telling you.
They're as good as money because they are money.
We're operating at a deficit. It costs more to make a penny.
Folks, I'm telling you, if we get rid of coins, if we come out, everything's $1. If you want to pay cash, it's $1. Okay? What in today's society, what costs less than $1? Why can't everything just be $1?
You're an agent for inflation.
I bought mustard the other day for 75 cents.
Get out of here.
I thought it was a great price. I was at Target.
Exact.
It was the generic Target brand mustard, 75 cents. And here's the thing about yellow mustard. I'm not going to use it all that often.
Right.
So am I going to buy I don't even know.
The cost per use, that is
75 cents for a whatever it is, a tube of mustard.
If you're paying with a card, fine. Charge me 75 cents. But if you want to pay cash, it's $1.
What about
no more change? And I'm telling you, Billy says they're already worth something. If we cancel, if there was if Biden came out, change is done. All change would all of a sudden be worth more than
it is. A terrible campaign slogan.
No more change.
Obama ran on change, and Biden is running on no more change.
What happened there?
I'm telling you that I would vote for him.
Okay, that's strange.
But no more change.
No more change is a strange platform. It's going to get co-opted.
That's my vote. I mean,
it's honestly because of the noise it makes in my pocket more than anything.
That's what the other people say too. It's because of the noise they make.
Yep.
No more change.
I don't like the smell of it.
I don't like the smell of them. No more
Chris,
change.
just stop talking.
I'm talking about the coins.
It is incredibly privileged. There are many people making minimum wage who are valuing every cent because they must value every cent.
Even they want dollars. I'm telling you.
I love change. What's wrong with you people? Change is awesome. I have a change jar next to my bed. I put it in. It counts the money going in.
You know what's great? It's a great feeling when you have amassed enough change in your car and you can pay for like a Burger King drive-through meal. It's fantastic.
I just hate when I get home, I'm like emptying my pockets, and I'm just like, what do I do with this 14 cents?
Okay, here's what you do. Dad, in his kitchen, has a big glass bowl.
Wild Bill?
No, me.
Oh.
I'm talking about the dressing Christopher.
A change bowl.
A change bowl.
Yes.
And it fills up. And then,
it smells terrible, I bet.
Okay.
There's always like a paper clip in there, random screw.
You could not pay me to smell that bowl.
Smelling my coin bowl?
Exactly.
Twice a year, I bring it to Publix. They have this thing that for a 10% fee.
I hate that.
Coinstar.
You're not taking.
I don't
You're
like
not
the
taking.
fee.
Yeah,
I
you're
don't
not
like the
taking a
fee.
percentage
You can go to the
of my
bank.
coins.
Love it.
You can go to the bank.
But you have to count them yourself.
I used to roll my own coins.
It's sad walking into a
what
bank.
a satisfaction.
Dan just arrived in the United States of America. He's like, a 10% fee? Yes, Dan.
I was stunned by what Greg Cody just said. You can go to the bank and not have a 10% fee, or you could go to Publix and have a ridiculous gouging fee.
Okay,
Yeah,
10%
is fair.
Greg Cody, my friend Priya, she has like an entire closet full of coins in her apartment, and she doesn't know what to do with them because it weighs like 30 or 40 pounds. She's like, I don't know what to do with this.
Yeah.
if you take it to the bank, you have to do it yourself. They give you the papers.
Yeah.
You could get one of those coin counter thingies, and it'll sort it all for you. But those cost money too.
If we end change, that will be worth double what
Dude,
she has.
to have that, first of all, Priya's a millionaire and she doesn't even know it. Second of all, a closet full of coins? What?
It's a lot of change.
That's a lot of coins.
Is she storing it for like a rainy day? Does she think the economy's going to collapse?
I think they're just been too lazy to do the actual act of getting it counted and taking it to the bank. So it's just been accumulating and accumulating and accumulating for decades.
But that coin counter machine, you get one of those and then you could play Scarface. That and it just starts counting the money. Push it to the limit.
Nobody's with me on the smell, huh?
Then they have the fun ones that you see and you're
smell.
like, where's it going to go? What is that?
Christopher, you've always been weird.
If I have my hand full of change and then I give it away, that leftover change smell I just hate it.
When Christopher first started
the penny's
driving,
the worst.
When Christopher's like 16 years old and he first started driving, all of a sudden I'd be walking in my front yard and I noticed there were pennies and nickels and dimes all over the driveway.
You're lying. That's not true.
You used to
throw
coins on the driveway.
Wow. Spoiled.
This is a big
moment.
This is a big moment.
You know I'm anti-change. I'm
Are
anti-change.
you denying you did that?
I'm denying that I ever just littered our driveway with coins.
I wish I'd have taken
Maybe at McDonald's, if they hand me 2 pennies, I'm like, get that shit out of here.
There you go.
What?
There you go.
I mean, hold on
No,
a
I
second.
drop it
The
in-
case is,
I always
it's
put it
building
into
up
the
against you. Anti-change, so is obviously something that an anti-change person would do, would just throw their change in their parents' front yard, and then you're admitting to doing it at McDonald's.
I've never done it at my parents' house.
Jesus.
You literally just said, I've never done this, and then 5 seconds later,
No,
like,
I said I never
done
did it. I
this.
said I've never done it at my dad's driveway.
I agree with you on the smell.
Your Honor,
nasty.
at the behest of my client, I'm going to ask him to stop talking.
Imagine OJ. He's in court.
Another
He's like,
voice.
Murder at my house? Not at my house. Never done it at McDonald's. Now that's a different story.
There was one moment
He
where I
was
was
at
like,
McDonald's that night.
I kind of miss OJ, and it was when Scheffler got arrested. I was like, I would have liked to have seen this Twitter reaction video.
Hello, Twitter world.
Hello, Twitter world.
You know, it's me, yours truly. You know, sometimes law enforcement gets very overzealous, and I don't know why.
I think Scotty overreacted.
Is that Doc Rivers?
No. Hello, yours truly. This is OJ Simpson. Doc Rivers is like this.
The overhit.
Yeah.
We have a little bit of a situation that I discovered a couple weeks ago on Mystery Crate that we may need to address right now. Mike just now was looking for a pair of sunglasses that he had.
Yeah, what happened to those? Because I had a pair of Pit Vipers here. They were my pair of sunglasses in case the lights were ever bothering me, and they've been missing for weeks, and no one. Yeah. I just assumed either someone swiped them or threw them away.
To be clear, the Pit Vipers, are these the wraparound, I have a dog in my bio type of sunglasses?
Yeah, the ones that are really in style now.
Come with American flag.
Looks like you want to play volleyball in the early 90s.
Maybe say my pronouns are up yours or something like that.
I think you're taking this way too far. They're just cool sunglasses.
They are cool. I didn't say they're not cool. I'm just kind of trying to clarify.
Would vote for no change.
What the hell happened to my sunglasses?
Amin, you're going to love this. Let's watch this clip.
Can we talk about something privately?
Yes. We got 20 seconds.
It happened the other day off air. Mike was really mad because his Pit Viper glasses were missing.
Oh, no. We can't talk about this.
Oh, do you know what happened to them?
Oh, please talk about it.
I don't know about this.
What happened to them?
Hurry up. I don't want to get her in trouble, but Willow attacked them, so I had to throw them away.
Oh, we said it.
We'll be back.
Oops. That doesn't sound like her. How dare you accuse Willow?
I found him on the floor with.
Oh, shit.
You knew that? Me neither. He was so mad. He's like, "There's thieves around here," and I'm like, "I don't want to put Willow in a bad spot," but I saw her eating them on the floor one day, so I tossed them.
Would have been the last time I saw Willow.
It was like
Mike is such a big fan.
Incinerator. It was like 2 months ago.
Yeah, he was a fan.
Incinerator.
Whoops.
I didn't say anything because I
That's a rotten thing to do. Wow. That's a really rotten
By
thing
me?
to do. No, just to not say it.
Willow ate
I think
your
that the
glasses.
nice gesture is, hey, Willow accidentally ate your sunglasses. Here's a new pair of Pit Vipers. That'd be the right thing.
Not a new pair. You would have been fine with the news, though.
Yeah, they
I
were
would have
used.
been hide it from me.
Right.
I said it out loud, and everyone just I feel like an asshole. I fucking said it out loud, and everyone just ignored me. And you all kept this cute little secret for Mystery Crate.
We were waiting for the reveal on the show.
No,
Everything's content.
All I want is my fucking sunglasses.
You know who should feel like an asshole? Everybody in here who's been like, "Oh, the dog is here! Oh my God, dogs make
every day. A dog's here every day would make everything better. Oh my gosh! Look, they're so well behaved. Oh, look at the dog is so well. What? Do we have another dog?
Are you doing a wicked? Is that a
Take your
wicked,
victory lap. I mean,
is that a wicked witch you're doing?
That's called the asshole who's right.
I thought it was Mickey Mouse.
All right, who's pulling together some money for? Why don't you get some of that change?
Yeah.
And give me some sunglasses.
Mike, I will buy you a new pair of pit vipers.
They have all
I'm
my
sorry
change.
on Willow's behalf that she ate your sunglasses.
I'm not mad at Willow.
You should be
at all.
You should be.
I'm mad at everybody here that just kept this charade going on. Like I would have.
We meant to play it for you the next day, but we haven't been scheduled on the same day for 3 weeks.
That's a very mean thing to do to somebody. That's property.
You know what it is, Mike? It's the kind of disregard that people have when they think they can just bring a herd of animals into a studio.
You know, that was my first COVID impulse buy. It was the first targeted IG ad that worked on me during the pandemic. Those pit vipers.
And that shirt was the second, right?
This one, no, this is one of the more recent ones.
There are a number of appalling things that have been discovered over the course of this segment. The idea that we just skipped past Chris Cody throwing away money and littering. Like the combination,
in the driveway.
The combination
not
of
the driveway.
well, you claim it's not the driveway, but I tend to believe whenever your father, look at your father's face right now. Whenever he becomes indignant with a memory, and he's sitting here saying to you, "I wish I'd taken photographs," but your father is insulted as a hardworking man who descended from Wild Bill Cody. He does not like the idea of just change being thrown as litter in his driveway. He wouldn't make that up.
No,
I think he's misremembering.
No, I'm not. And I picked up the coins.
Of course. Money for you.
Yes, I did. And put them in my coin jar.
Brought them to Publix.
Damn right.
Yep.
Chris, how would he know about coins being tossed from the window if it hadn't happened in the driveway?
No, because he knows that I used to have a thing with change where I wouldn't want it.
How did he ever witnessed you take a coin and throw it out the window?
Not at home. I think.
But
I think it's happened at a drive-through before.
He's been
That's
in the
where he's
drive-thru
seen
with
it's
you?
happened. Yeah.
Who throws away coins? You put them in your pocket.
Who does? And who claims that an old man would be misremembering something in a segment about him putting the gloves on the wrong hand?
Thank you.
Still a fine bucket?
Thank you. Willow.
Back streets back. All right. Since the dawn of mankind, we've cooked our food over an open flame and debated the best way to grill. One thing not up for debate, grilling and beer always go together. But not just any beer would do. Whether you barbecue, Texas style, or just celebrate Wednesday with burgers and dogs. I love Miller Lite. Every single time my team plays on television, I am sitting behind that television screen with a Miller Lite or 3. Miller Lite keeps it simple. Undebatable quality. Taste as great as your barbecue. It's the beer that strips away everything you don't need and holds on to what matters the most. With the Miller Lite in hand, grilling doesn't just taste great, it tastes like Miller time. To get Miller Lite delivered right to your door, visit MillerLite.com/Dan. Or you can find it pretty much anywhere that sells beer. Celebrate responsibly. Miller Brewing Company, Milwaukee, Wisconsin. 96 calories per 12 ounces.
Don Le Batard.
Is there back in my day?
There is, actually.
What? Were you not going to tell anyone?
What?
Wait a minute.
You guys, it's a Tuesday.
Stugotz. Here's your guy, Greg Cody, with Back in My Day.
Okay, here it is. Sorry. Adultery.
We are back.
That is waiting for this one.
This is the Don Le Batard Show with the Stugotz.
I don't know if because it's, as Billy calls it, an erection year, this is getting worse, what I'm about to say, than it has been. But I spend an inordinate amount of time in my day deleting email that is just an endless array of political junk that I've never signed up for, that it feels like someone has hacked my accounts and I'm being sent a bunch of stuff I don't care about. Mike mentioned a Trump coin earlier. An email I am now getting endlessly that we're going to put up on the video screen that I had not seen until it started inundating my email box is this Trumpinator bobblehead that is being sold because Trump at this point is trying to pay attorneys. And I'm assuming these attorneys want their money up front because he doesn't pay for everything. So he's got to get a bunch of different ways to sell a bunch of different crap. Is this happening to you guys? Are you guys getting, I'm not talking about the text spam that we're all getting. We're all getting a ton of everyone's got our cell phone number and you're getting a bunch of political shit on your phone. But are the rest of you getting, no, I'm not lying. I mean, it might not even be dozens. I'm talking about, I might have to go through 100 of these a day where I'm just killing shit and I'm unsubscribing from it and it doesn't do anything to actually kill it.
They always find a different angle, a different way to send it to you. Yeah, I'm getting emails for the Trump Bible.
Huh.
Is this happening to the rest of you?
I'm getting the text.
The spam text, the spam calls, the spam email. I get everything.
How many bobbleheads did you buy?
I'm more interested in the risk management masters. That guy looks like he knows what he's talking about.
Is this happening to you, Greg?
It is not. No, I must say. I get a lot of political things because in the past, my wife and myself, mostly my wife, have donated to an unnamed political party. And so we get a lot of stuff asking for more money and more money and more money. But I have never yet been offered a bobblehead doll.
Rent is too damn high, party?
Exactly.
Somebody did this to me. I'm assuming that I'm getting this.
You're blaming someone else.
Yeah, I'm assuming that such.
Are you a registered Republican?
100 a day is crazy.
Yeah. If you're a registered, I'm still a registered Republican, so I get a bunch of text messages that I have to say variations of stop. Also, like I throw in an F word occasionally, depending on like what's in the news.
Are you also anti-change?
I am anti-change. Like the coin. Seriously, if there was a politician, even if he were a Republican, that said, "Hey, no more change," I'm like, let's hear this guy out.
Thank you. I had someone.
If Aaron Rodgers became the VP and his whole big idea that he brought to the ticket was no change, I'm like, all right, I'm listening.
I had someone use my email one
Not
time.
for long.
Not for long. And that guy sounds weird. The president, he just like his voice sounds weird. This is a healthy option.
They signed me up for UM athletic department updates. And I can't unsubscribe. It's
That was
just
mine.
constantly happening over and
wonder
over
who
again.
did that.
I feel like you need to have some sort of verification. You can't just blindly give out people's emails.
Well, maybe next time tell me where my sunglasses are.
By the
If
way,
you listen to Mystery Crate, you would have known a few weeks ago.
somebody, I don't know who, has gotten a hold of our internal email, the list, because I would get these emails from people, and I'm just like, how did you get my email? Like, hey, do you want more followers on TikTok? Like, why are you emailing me?
I get emails for you all the time. Do you guys get emails for Oddball?
For Oddball all the time.
All the time. And it's like, Mr. Amin, you should sign up for this thing. And I'm like,
Triple
it's not my
your
email.
followers.
Chris, one of our production people has put in the Slack something from Oddball and Amin that is being alleged incriminates Amin on the Drew Holiday take that he's been trying to offer context to all show. Let's get that video to see what it proves or what it doesn't prove, and we're going to get to Against the Spread in a second. But before we do that, I'd just like to get Greg Cody's thoughts on Lexi Thompson retiring from golf at the age of 29, citing mental health concerns. There is a thing happening in sports now, and I associate it as being led by DeMar DeRozan and Kevin Love speaking freely and openly about mental health. But something is happening in sports right now where people of an age, some of them are like, no, stress level's not reasonable. I don't want to work and live under these conditions. I've made enough money. I had a good career. I'm out at 29 because this isn't healthy. The obsessive compulsive way I have to live doing this thing doesn't make me happy enough. I have to go check in on my mental health.
I have to think that, pardon me, that when she reads that a PGA Tour golfer, Grayson Murray, about her age, commits suicide, and she's the same age, very good golfer, by the way. This is not a marginal player. 15-time winner in the prime of her career, quitting on top. And I give her immense credit because she's saying, I can't let myself get to where Grayson Murray, to where the mental challenges and the mental weight on my mind.
We don't know. There are a lot of things that go into taking one's life. We don't know how severe her mental health issues are, but she's doing something in her 20s that not a lot of people have done in order to have her mental health protected.
And she has been very open and out front about mental health challenges, and she even took several months off, I think it was a year or two ago, to address this. So I'm not saying that she's ever had suicidal thoughts, but she has been very open about the mental challenges and the stress and all that, and the fact that she's taking a very dramatic way to deal with it and to put her mental health first, I think is enormously important and a good lesson for other athletes and non-athletes to consider.
She's won a major. She's been number one in the world. I always go to, Dan, with tennis players and golf players, the loneliness of that sport. Because just getting to the LPGA Tour, swimmers as well, they don't really hang around with friends. It's them alone on a golf course or a tennis court or in a swimming pool, left to their own devices, not really communicating with many, many people other than their families. And I always wonder just how lonely of an existence that actually is.
Yeah, I thought of Ash Barty retiring in tennis recently. She's only 28 years old now. And Lexi Thompson went pro when she was really, really young. And so she's had this entire career in the spotlight from just before she was even a teenager. I think she qualified for the U.S. Open when she was 12. So I can imagine that her career has been she's been under a microscope from a very early age. Even the one tournament where she was playing really well and a fan called in and said that she had taken the wrong stroke on a penalty, like that sort of super under a microscope type of thing with golfers that I think you can tell she just really needs a break.
There were massive expectations. She was supposed to be what Nelly Korda is, and she never developed into that, but she still had a wonderful career. She won a major, and she won over $14 million.
I always wonder, though, because we don't really understand how these people have to be built to get to maximum success. I know a lot of people complain about, Karl Anthony Towns is complaining about every call, and I'm like, well, he cares deeply about having success in his career, and if you were undermined in your line of work by something, you might be upset too. The way that you have to care in order to be this kind of golfer and beat other golfers who care like that is so obsessive that I would say sports are a mental health challenge. Getting to the top of sports is more mentally health challenging than a great many things in a great many workplaces, because you have to beat other people for money, for livelihood, for greatness, and you've been trained as a child to compete against other robots who have been molded to get to the top of the country club through all of the competition of all of the people trying to get to the top of the country club. I think all of it is challenging in ways we don't understand when we bark into microphones criticizing that Bobrovsky needs to stop allowing so many rebounds.
On ice.
He's on ice. There's 70 guys standing in front of him. The puck is coming 112 miles an hour. Don't allow a rebound, Bob. Mike Ryan is a mental health challenge, and this environment steals his stuff and challenges him mentally.
We are this close to crowning an NBA champ, and with the action heating up on the court, it's even hotter at DraftKings Sportsbook, an official sports betting partner of the NBA. New to DraftKings? Listen up. New customers can get a no-sweat bet up to $1,500. Just deposit at least $5 and you'll get a bonus bet back equal to your first bet if it doesn't hit. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app now and use code DAN. That's code DAN for new customers to get a no-sweat bet up to $1,500 if your first bet doesn't hit. Only on DraftKings. The crown is yours.
Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER, or in West Virginia, visit www.1800gambler.net. In New York, call 877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY to 467-369. In Connecticut, help is available for problem gambling. Call 888-789-7777 or visit ccpg.org. Please play responsibly. On behalf of Boot Hill Casino Resort in Kansas. 21 plus, age varies by jurisdiction. Void in Ontario. One no-sweat bet per new customer. Issued as one bonus bet based on amount of initial losing bet. Bonus bets expire 168 hours after issuance. See dkng.co/bball for eligibility, wagering, deposit restrictions, terms, and responsible gaming resources.
Don Batard.
A woman who was out swimming with her friends is believed to have been swallowed whole by a 13-foot shark without any of her friends noticing. That's the weirdest part about that story. You're swimming with friends, you're having a good time, and then all of a sudden, people are looking around and go, where's Shelley? Like, nobody screamed?
Every friend group has a Shelley, though, that if they go missing because a shark ate them whole, you wouldn't notice.
Classic Shelley.
Exactly right.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Stugotz.
She went quietly, apparently. If I'm swallowed whole by a shark, you're going to know it.
This is the Don Batard Show with the Stugotz.
That's right. It's time for Against the Spread. And it is sponsored by DraftKings. Stay tuned because you'll hear about all DraftKings has to offer throughout the show. DraftKings, the crown is yours. Billy, kick us off.
Last week on Against the Spread, I took the Panthers -1.5.
You were
Game
mocked.
1 against the Rangers, I was mocked. I was laughed at. People said, what a buffoon that man is. He doesn't know puck. Talks about rhinos wearing skates with sandals on the ice. What a silly. And it covered. This week, I'm going to go with the Rangers +1.5 tomorrow night against the Panthers. I'm not saying the Rangers are necessarily going to win, but this has been a tight series the entire time, and I think it's going to be hard for the Panthers to win by 2 goals again. And that's my
Against
pick.
the spread.
Against the spread.
No, I didn't like that pick.
So you're betting for a close game is what
I think that it's not going to be a 2-goal difference one way or the other. I think that that's what's going to end up happening.
Mike, who you got?
I'm going to take a game against the spread, even though I like them straight up. They're an underdog. You can lay the -190 on Kansas City to cover the 1.5, or you can take them straight up. I think this is a live dog. I like Seth Lugo. Kansas City's bullpen is crap. However, he carries games deep into the 7th, and Minnesota can't hit recently. So I'm going with Seth Lugo against the spread.
Stugotz, bring us home.
The Mavericks let the Timberwolves back into the series last night. Don't you dare let that get to a Game 6. It's going to get to a Game 6, though. Minnesota, -5 at home over the overrated Dallas Mavericks and Kyrie Irving. I have the Timberwolves -5 against the spread. Sorry, Chris.
The series price on that would suggest that the books think that they have
Crazy.
about a 20% chance to win that series.
Yes.
The Royals are somehow good this year.
Baseball.
That's not a mirage.
No.
It's a weird season. Also, I thought all the rule changes would bring about more offense, and we got like the worst league-wide average in several years. No one appears to be like super good outside of a handful of teams. Especially the NL is confusing to me. That's baseball talk, folks.
Yeah.
Stay with it. Stay with it.
I mean,
this
I
season.
gave you some good stuff on that bullpen there.
That was real good.
Woo! That's all I got.
This has been a bit of a frustrating day with Amin because he's been coming in and out. He rushed in. He flew in because he didn't like the way that we had framed his Drew Holiday as a corpse analysis. And he's been coming in and out of the show aggressively, and he's left again. And I wanted to play this sound to him that wasn't when we caught him in the back of the car, angry and upset and lashing out at us. It's from his show, Oddball. It's every day except Monday. He does it with Charlotte Wilder. This is in a more composed state.
It's his show. He's in total control of what it is he says and how it gets edited. So
He called Drew Holiday a corpse on this show. Now he denies that we had the right context around what he was saying because corpse is somehow a compliment. And here he is on Oddball, and these are his true unemotional thoughts before Drew Holiday played a game for the Celtics on what Drew Holiday meant to the Celtics.
I was pretty tough on Joe Cronin last week. I said unless a lot of people forget this part, unless we see what happens with what they do with Drew Holiday, and they did something with Drew Holiday, and I'd be the first to say, look, man, I thought the Celtics way overpaid, and kudos to Joe Cronin and that Portland staff for getting value for Drew Holiday like that. 2 first-round picks. I thought Portland did great from Boston's perspective. Look, I'm consistent on this. I think a lot of people are excited about Drew Holiday because he's number one. He was a great player at one point. He was an elite defensive player. and a pretty good offensive player at one point. But I think that point we're past it.
Okay.
And people like scrapbooks. It's like when Carmelo Anthony went to the Lakers and when Carmelo Anthony went to the Blazers. Like, I'm not talking about Carmelo Anthony's career. I'm just telling you right now, Carmelo Anthony is not the guy that you saw in New York and in Denver. And the same thing here. I don't think this is the same Drew Holiday that we saw in New Orleans locking up Damian Lillard and in that playoff series. I think this is an older guy who I think he's still a very good defensive player, but he's not quite the defensive player he once was. And offensively, I don't think he's a great decision maker. And I thought that was something that the Celtics really needed. They needed a pure point guard, and they still don't have one of those.
Can I get a ruling from the group? Because Amin was in here all show today objecting to what it is that we were doing, and it sounds like that's what he was saying. He was questioning the Drew Holiday, giving up too much for Drew Holiday.
Did he leave because he knew we had this clip?
Yeah. I think so, because when I tried to get him back in, he's like, we're doing something right here, right now.
Too long, didn't read.
I want to get to something that's happening in the UFL that I think people are going to like if the NFL added. But before we do that, Stugotz, I just want to show you a clip here. I want you to look at this video and tell me if you recognize this this photograph, if you recognize who this person is in the movie The Smashing Machine. Do you recognize the person who is acting like a fighter in that photograph?
I do not, but they are chiseled.
Okay, that is The Rock.
What?
In a lot of makeup, in makeup that makes him unrecognizable in The Smashing Machine. I've told you A24 is probably the best studio making stuff now, and The Rock is trying to reinvent himself as somebody who's got acting range and tackles things like depression. And so he's doing it in a character that you will not recognize when he's on screen. It's so much makeup that he doesn't look like The Rock anymore.
Benny Safdie is directing this. The Safdies have split up as a filmmaking duo, and he's been trying to get this movie. Remember the UFC event where you went out with Masvidal and The Rock was there?
Yeah.
He announced to the crowd back then that he was finally making this Mark Kerr movie, and it's been a real struggle for him to actually have it made. Emily Blunt's in the cast. This is The Rock fully going for it.
Right.
This is him really going for some serious praise for his acting chops, for some hardware. This is a career-defining role for him.
I don't want that from The Rock. I want The Rock to be The Rock. I want The Rock to jump from buildings and save the world. That's what I want.
I mean,
enough with the acting. Who cares?
A couple months ago, The Rock went back to being like The Rock from wrestling lore. So that was hopefully a moment that could kind of change. I mean, he had some box office duds, some critical duds, so he definitely needs an uptick, and maybe he's getting it with the UFL.
Hold on, we'll get there in a second.
He looks totally different, but he's still gonna sound like Maui.
By the way, that's coming out in 6 months.
What?
Yeah, Moana 2 coming out in 6 months.
I didn't know they were making a sequel.
Disney is really good at keeping the animated movies secret. It's unbelievable.
Wow, The Smashing Machine, huh?
Stugotz is grabbing the campaign slogan of Chris Cody as it regards
No more change.
The Rock. No more change. Rock, I need you to be The Rock. Okay? I don't need you to try and be something that's softer than a rock. I just need you to be what I know to be The Rock.
I'm laughing because The Smashing Machine was my nickname in college.
Yeah,
people used to call me that. I swear, and it made me smile thinking of it.
It was
same, damn.
So much fun to watch in the studio the wordless lighting of the fuse by Jessica and Mike trying to get that joke to Greg Cody and seeing on his face that he wanted to reject it even though it was a good joke.
Well, he rejected my dick is hard joke from earlier in the show.
I was about to say, you should have seen what they wanted me to say regarding stiff person syndrome. Ridiculous. You got to draw the line somewhere.
Think about how funny you're trailing, like you're fading down with him on the couch and him just going, my dick is hard.
It would have smashed. Like Greg in college.
He was too slow. I saw that happening out there with him on the therapy couch where, honest to God, it was Chris Cody and Mike Ryan, and they were third base coaches waving someone home, trying to get Greg Cody to speak, and Greg Cody simply refused to say.
Stopping on third.
Just stop. He just stopped right on third and took a shit on the bag.
Damn right.
Like, it's not just that he stopped on third. He squatted over, but that was a very good joke. You in high school as the smashing machine.
College.
When you were the 25-year-old Richard Gere.
That's a fine.
When you were the 25-year-old American Gigolo.
Right.
The UFL, Stugotz. Mike Ryan is the only one around here interested in it. Mike Ryan has just been collecting an assortment of fringe sports.
Yeah. Well, that's very mean to NASCAR. Super. It's going to be on Prime next year.
It's not just...
They made a terrible decision.
It's
with
not
Coca-Cola.
NASCAR. It's all of it.
Yeah.
You are just collecting...
Well, I'm the voice of the voiceless, Stan. Like, you guys over here, you pay attention to 3 sports and you call it a day. You know, someone's got to pay attention to all these other things.
Right.
Also, you got to know that Seth Lugo is a really good pitcher that sometimes takes games into the 7th inning, and Kansas City's bullpen is kind of weak, so it's a real commodity. Seth Lugo. There you go.
Right.
There's your Kansas City Royals talk for the day. You're welcome. I pay attention to lose hundreds so you don't have to.
Yeah. Well, thank you.
And the rule changes. Quite
the sacrifice.
If all these alternative leagues just exist to make the NFL slightly better because they're trying things that the NFL can adopt, I can support all of these alternative leagues.
Well, I do have a bone to pick with the UFL, primarily because it's the UFL and not the XFL. That is where my brand loyalty lies. Now, I'm very happy that the XFL defeated the USFL overall head-to-head matchups. We're entering the final week of the season, and another bone that I have to pick with the UFL is the NFL adopted the XFL kickoff rule. You know who does not have the XFL kickoff rule? The UFL. What? No sense. Zero sense.
That's insane.
0 cents. But here are 2 other things that are going down in this sport that I think the NFL should steal. Number 1, and I think Stugotz would love this, the Super Challenge.
Oh, wow.
It is a one-time challenge in which you can challenge literally anything. If you think the head official missed a holding call on what could have been a big play, you can challenge whether or not that official missed a call.
It's a good rule.
Amazing.
You don't even have to explain
One time
it.
per game?
Something called the Super Challenge. Stugotz is in.
Yes. Is there a different flag for it? I mean,
I've actually only seen the.
There should be.
I caught like the Super Challenge once while Blandino. That's another thing. Wow. Is part of the the strategy is, well, let's see what Blandino does with this. Just give him a file to look for something, and he'll come back with something.
The Super flag is a red flag, but it's on a pole, and you have to wave it from the sideline.
Gotta be smarter than that.
That name will always be funny to us, right?
Blandino?
Yes.
Yeah, and the other thing is the 2 worst teams in the league are actually playing this week, and the UFL has decided the winner of that game gets the higher draft pick. The winner, not the loser, will be rewarded with the top pick in the draft and the top pick in every round.
That's good.
We have to market to the times and the fact that it's an important political year. That super flag has to be somebody wrapped in the American flag. Just maximum patriotism is at any point
That's the USAFL, Dan.
That's it. That's what we need to do.
Back streets back. All right. Since the dawn of mankind, we've cooked our food over an open flame and debated the best way to grill. One thing not up for debate, grilling and beer always go together. But not just any beer will do. Whether you barbecue, Texas style, or just celebrate Wednesday with burgers and dogs, I love Miller Lite. Every single time my team plays on television, I am sitting behind that television screen with a Miller Lite or 3. Miller Lite keeps it simple. Undebatable quality, taste as great as your barbecue. It's the beer that strips away everything you don't need and holds on to what matters the most. With the Miller Lite in hand, grilling doesn't just taste great, it tastes like Miller time. To get Miller Lite delivered right to your door, visit MillerLite.com/Dan. Or you can find it pretty much anywhere that sells beer. Celebrate responsibly. Miller Brewing Company, Milwaukee, Wisconsin. 96 calories per 12 ounces. Woo!
For years, you asked yourself, how do I save more money? But now it's, how do I preserve my money? Someone's asking the right questions. And at Sandy Spring Trust, we'll answer them one-on-one. From asset management to legacy and estate planning, you can feel confident in what's to come. What's your next financial destination? Visit sandyspringbank.com/wealth. Wealth and insurance products are not FDIC insured, not guaranteed, and may lose value. Wealth products offered by Sandy Spring Trust, a division of Sandy Spring Bank.